Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your fun-loving animated talking head friend Callous Mind back with another hard-hitting video. I mean, what else do I make here? You know what I mean? Before I start the show, I want to remind everybody that the FJB commemorative challenge coin is now in stock. It is available. It is beautiful. So you see it there, F. Joe Biden, and then you flip it over, and it's Let's Go Brandon. So if you want to buy yourself or family members or a whole gaggle of people one of these great coins, be sure to visit the link in the description box below. Okay, so I really wanted to start today's show by wishing everybody a belated happy Thanksgiving. I know that I didn't do a video last week, and I didn't realize before last week that my daughter was out the whole entire week, so I didn't get those kind of couple days I usually would have needed to make the video, edit the video, and put it online. So I just didn't do the pics, and so it's kind of an odd week. I'll call it a holiday, vacation, whatever, but I hope everybody had a very happy Thanksgiving and happy December 1st, 2021. We're almost through this one and into 2022. So without further ado, let's get started. And I want to start today's show with some stories, and these stories relate to ridiculous sums of money. This first story, this is from November 5th. FBS schools spent over $533.6 million in dead money over 10 plus years. Now, as with all the stories I cover in these episodes, I will leave a link in the description box below. So this story reads, November can be a cold and expensive month in college football. A number of coaches nationwide remain on the hot seat 2/3 of the way through the season, which has already seen 8 football bowl subdivision head coaches out of a job and owed dead money owed to fulfill their contracts. From January 1st, 2010 to January 31st, 2021, public universities and FBS conferences paid out more than $533.6 million in dead money to head coaches and assistant coaches in football and men's and women's basketball, according to analysis of financial records obtained by ESPN through state open records laws. The total does not include tens of millions of dollars in severance payments to coaches who have been fired or resigned since then, including head football coaches at Georgia Southern, LSU, TCU, Texas Tech, Akron, UConn, and USC. LSU football coach Ed Orgeron, who guided the Tigers to a college football playoff national championship in 2019 and then was dismissed last month, is owed about $16.9 million, which will be doled out in 18 installment payments through December 2025, according to the university. Now, I highlight this story, one, because of the insane dollar amount, and two, because we live in a society that's talking about trying to get the government to wipe out student loan debts and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, if money was spent better, one, if education wasn't so ridiculously high, and two, if money going into those education facilities was actually spent properly, like none of this shit. Like, if you get fired, that usually implies that the payments stop. But so you're telling me that this dude won the national championship less than 2 years ago as the head coach. He's owed $16.9 million, and he's still going to get that money even though he's essentially been fired already. What are we talking about here? I mean, these colleges are starting to act like the government, where they're just spending money. They'll literally print money to spend money, but nobody ever stops and thinks about where the hell's that money come from. It don't just come off the presses. You know, that money's got to come from somewhere. So this is absurd and grotesque. And one more story while we're on the cuckoo money talk. I just saw this come out the other day. This is from November 24th, 2021. Rams NFL settle St. Louis lawsuit over franchise's relocation to Los Angeles for $790 million. Good Lord. Says the NFL and Rams owner Stan Kroenke will pay $790 million to settle a lawsuit filed by St. Louis interests over the team's relocation to Los Angeles, a joint statement from St. Louis City and County said Wednesday. The settlement does not include a promise from the NFL to grant St. Louis an expansion franchise in the future, a source familiar with the agreement told ESPN, confirming a report by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. That idea wasn't seriously discussed, the source told ESPN. It wasn't immediately clear how much would be paid by Kroenke and how much would be covered by owners of the league's 31 other teams. This historic agreement closes a long chapter for our region, securing hundreds of millions of dollars for our communities while avoiding the uncertainty of the trial and appellate process, read a statement from St. Louis Mayor Tushar Jones and St. Louis County Executive Sam Page. St. Louis area officials haven't yet determined how the settlement funds will be used, the statement said. An NFL spokesman in a brief statement said the league and St. Louis interests have been able to fully resolve the dispute. So, the settlement reached in mediation ends a 4.5-year-old lawsuit filed in the wake of the Rams' departure. Kroenke and the NFL had failed in bids to have the lawsuit dismissed or at least moved out of St. Louis, and courts were sympathetic to the St. Louis' side effort to disclose financial information of team owners, rulings that hastened the push for a settlement. The case had been scheduled to go to trial January 10th. The lawsuit sought more than $1 billion. It claimed the team's move cost the St. Louis region millions of dollars in amusement, ticket, and earnings tax revenue. Then owner Georgia Frontiere moved the Rams from Los Angeles in 1995 to her hometown of St. Louis, where they stayed for 21 seasons before Kroenke moved them back. Kroenke, a Missouri real estate developer who is married to an heir of the Walmart fortune, became a minority owner when the team first came to St. Louis. Frontiere died in 2008 and left the team to her children, who sold the Rams to Kroenke in 2010. So there you go. Okay, so before I get into NFL Week 13 picks, I want to go over the NFL standings as they currently sit. And we can see that the New England Patriots are on top of the AFC East. I personally did not know that the Patriots would win the AFC East this year, but it certainly kind of looks like they're headed in that direction. I thought the downward trend of the Patriots would last a little longer, and I'm sure other people hoped it would as well, but don't look now, but here come the Patriots again. You see the Ravens have the AFC North lead, followed closely by the Cincinnati Bengals. And then in the AFC South, the Titans are leading the way. In the AFC West, there's the Chiefs. Even despite all their problems, they're still 7-4 and leading the division. So here we go. And in the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys are 3 wins away from winning me a free lunch. So who says there's no such thing as a free lunch? Green Bay Packers leading in the NFC North. NFC South, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And in the NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals. All right, so without further ado, NFL schedule 2021 Week 13 starts Thursday, December 2nd, featuring the Dallas Cowboys visiting the New Orleans Saints. and I will take the Dallas Cowboys on the road to defeat the New Orleans Saints. Sunday gets started with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the Atlanta Falcons. Nice NFC South matchup. I will take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road to defeat the Atlanta Falcons. Next up, Arizona at Chicago Bears. Now this weather could really favor the Bears depending on how it's going to be in Chi-Town, but I will go ahead and ride with Big Red, so I will take the Arizona Cardinals on the road to defeat the Chicago Bears. Next game, Los Angeles Chargers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And I gotta say, the Bengals are coming off of a win against the Browns. Or I'm sorry, no, it wasn't the Browns. It was the Steelers. So, having said that, the Chargers seem to be a little more down as of late. They're not riding nearly as high as they were early in the season. So I'm going to take Cincinnati at home to defeat the Los Angeles Chargers. Next game, Minnesota visits the Detroit Lions, and I will take the Minnesota Vikings on the road to defeat the Detroit Lions. All right, next game, New York Giants visit the Miami Dolphins. I will take the Miami Dolphins at home to defeat the New York Giants. Next game, Philadelphia visits New York to play the Jets, and I will take the Philadelphia Eagles on the road at the New York Jets for the win. Indianapolis Colts visit the Houston Texans, and Indianapolis has a lot to play for, and the Houston Texans have nothing to play for. I will take the Indianapolis Colts on the road to defeat the Houston Texans. Next game, Washington football team visits the Silver and Black, the Las Vegas Raiders, who just came off of a huge win against the Dallas Cowboys. The Washington football team is scrappy and gritty, and I certainly don't see any reason why they couldn't go on the road and win this game. But I am ride or die, just win, baby, old school Silver and Black. So I will take the Raiders at home to defeat the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. Next game, Jacksonville at Los Angeles Rams. And the Rams really need this game to keep pace in the NFC playoff picture. So I think they will get that win at home. So I will pick the Los Angeles Rams at home to defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next game, Baltimore at Pittsburgh. This is a great AFC North matchup. And I think this is just a down year for the Steelers and possibly a really up year for the Ravens. But either way, I think the Ravens are a better football team. And I will take the Ravens on the road at Pittsburgh for the win. Next game, San Francisco visits Seattle. This is an NFC West matchup, and these are always scrappy games. But Seattle is really having a bad year this year, and I think San Francisco is a little bit better than they are at this point. So I will take the San Francisco 49ers on the road to defeat the Seattle Seahawks. Sunday Night Football features Denver visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. And I got to tell you, Kansas City seems like they're coming alive, seems like they're getting their stuff together. We'll see if that continues. I think it certainly can against the Denver Broncos. So I will take the Kansas City Chiefs at home to defeat the visiting Denver Broncos. And then finally, on Monday, December 6th, we have New England going to Buffalo. Muy interesting, because this is a very critical game as far as the AFC East goes. And like I said, I think New England's coming back to look like themselves. We'll see how well Buffalo plays at home. But I am taking the visiting New England Patriots on the road to defeat the Buffalo Bills. All right, that's going to do it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope everyone, like I said, had a blessed Thanksgiving. And cheers to a great holiday season here in the month of December. I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and productive. Until I speak with you next time, please, please, please be good to yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to you later. God bless.